morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. Today, we are going to discuss about the implementations of the curriculum. Our goals for today is to identify the implementations of the curriculum, also to describe the level of the curriculum implemented in the Philippines context, and also what are the factors that should be considered in the implementing of the curriculum. Curriculum implementation, it focuses on the actual implementations of the curriculum workers from the national level to the local school context. It also to the dynamics of how various curriculum workers try to their functions in order to achieve educational sets of goals, programs, and policies set by the country, region, divisions, and district down to the local school. Probably, the implementation is highly influenced by the educational goals and by the governments or schools. The curriculum process implementations to be guided by the educational or curriculum philosophy, which it helps to cope with the new technology changes, and it helps to make the teacher systematically deliberate subjects, courses, and the curriculum implementations. It helps to make the relevance with the needs and necessities of the learners and society as a whole, with the different resources, hence for the productivity of the school. Now, let's move to the curriculum workers. True success or failures of the curriculum depends on the people working for it to be implemented, accordingly to Olivia 2005. At the level of the curriculum implementations, curriculum workers, through their expertise, creativity, and education, it was clearly stated that the curriculum is to be implemented as it planned. Teachers, accordingly, are the most visible among all workers. Their role is to implement the curriculum as it is planned. They used to develop lesson plan, unit plan, syllabi, yearly plan to each subject. They prepared non-instructional materials, select methods and strategies, and also to assess learners. Their educational background, philosophy, teaching styles affects the implementations of the curriculum. Accordingly, teachers are the major pillars in teaching, implementing the curriculum process. Their knowledge, experience are the reason on how curriculum will be effective to implement. They introduce the curriculum in the school or even outside of the school campus or in the society. Now, technical panels and technical committees. Professors and the other individuals, experts from different disciplines and fields that assess the commissions on higher educations in developing curriculum. They are formulate the curriculum, policies, and evaluate the compliance of the higher education's institutions to CHED program standards. They are the one who set people cultivating assistance on CHED, educational policies, guidance, and norms, and regulations. These people provide technical expertise and this matter. Principal is the chief academic and administrative officers of the school. They used to provide the curricular and instructional leaderships and supervisions to the teachers. They also the one who lead teachers in planning different schools activities, and also the principals the one who check the lesson plans developed by the teacher, prepare school calendar, supervise instructions, and prepare school reports. They are also the one who work with the parents and community leaders and to win their supports to any school activities and projects. The school principal play important role to shape or to mold the school curriculum. They are responsible in school provisions of the visions and missions, objectives, provide different leaderships, instructions on how curriculum must implement effectively. The second committee is the district supervisor. They are the one who responsible for supervising the implementations of the curriculum in each district level or schools. They help public school principals to ensure that the programs of the departments of education are implemented in the respective schools, and also they used to implement policies and programs of the departments of education in private schools. They used to help the public school implementations of the curriculums and programs must be implemented in different schools with the corresponding as it plans. The district supervisor, they are the one who help the public principals in the effective implementations of the curriculums and programs that being implemented in a different schools with the corresponding as it plans. They provide guidance, programs and policies. Also, they are the one conducting data for the needs and improvements of the different committee for the effective of the curriculum.
Education supervisor are assigned to specific subject areas in basic education. So they help the district office of the Department of Education in supervising the implementation and programs. So their function is to stimulate, guide, and encourage the teachers to apply instructional procedures, techniques, principles, and devices. They conduct an evaluation of schools division, instructional supervision plan, implementation, and submit policy recommendation towards process improvements. So they develop and implement advocacy programs and materials on the basic education curriculum to enhance appreciation and support from stakeholders. Division Superintendent, Chief Academic Officer of each division, supervise the implementation of the DepEd curriculum, programs and projects in division level, both public and private schools. They provide local management and administration of the department that mandate at school division level, and also they assist the employee recruitment and provide training. Regional Director, they manage the programs and projects of the Department of Education in regional level. Similarly to the division level, but the difference is that the regional directors provides leadership and management of the department that mandate at the national level. Education Program Specialist, work at national level at the central offices of the Commission on Higher Education and the Department of Education. So they assist the two government agencies in the development of curriculum policies. So for an instance, TESDA or CHED. So for the reason that this will help the teachers and other curriculum leaders in the implementation of the curriculum. So the education program specially serves as a representative of the government that promotes the goal of higher education towards the students and the institution, so they enacted and formulate actions that will ensure the implemented curriculum that concerns the Philippine education, wherein it promotes the unity of every faculty to connect and have common goal and interest for the betterment of the education.
After we discuss the meaning of curriculum implementation and the different curriculum workers, now let's proceed to the different levels of curriculum implementation.
To ensure the smooth implementation of the curriculum, each department or Ministry of Education in any country has established a system that will take charge of the whole work of planning, development, implementation, and evaluation of the curriculum.
Here in the Philippines, we have our education system follow as a centralized system. Curriculum development and implementation was divided into 5 different levels. These are the national level, regional level, division level, district level, and local school level.
Under the Republic Act number 9155, also known as the Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001, Chapter 1, Section 7 defines the function of each level. First, we have the national level. Through the leadership of the Secretary of Education, the undersecretaries, assistant secretaries, and different bureau officers are responsible for the following: formulating national educational policies. One of the national education policy is implementation of K-12 curriculum to expand the access and ensuring that more Filipinos have the decent basic education and to improve national competitiveness. Formulating a national basic education plan. Education plan has a goal that provides them a basic skills, knowledge, and values that they need to become caring, self-reliant, productive, and patriotic citizen. Promulgating national educational standards. It provides a framework for teachers, administrators, and policymakers in designing or selecting curriculum, allocating and structural resources, and assessing students' achievements and progress. Its important standards also assessing provides the students, families, and communities with concrete expectation for education. Monitoring and assessing national learning outcomes. Undertaking national educational research and studies. Enhancing the employment status, professional competence, welfare, working conditions of all personnel of department, and enhancing the total development of learners through local and nation programs and or projects. Next, we have the regional level. Consistent with the national educational policies, plans, and standards, the regional office under the regional director shall be responsible for the following: defining a regional educational policy framework which reflects the values, needs, and expectation of the communities they serve, developing a regional basic education plan, developing regional educational standards with a view towards bench, marking for international competitiveness, monitoring, evaluating, and assessing regional learning outcomes. Next is the division level. A division shall consist of province or a city which shall have a school division superintendent, at least one assistant school division superintendent, and office staff for programs promotion. To develop and implement the division educational plans. It's necessary to develop it as it deems to nurture and making education to acquire best qualities. Planning and managing the effective and efficient use of all personnel, physicality, and including professional staff's development. Of course, it is important to ensure that it is well connected among the people working with it and must be efficient and effective, so implementing it will make sense. Hiring, placing, and evaluating all division supervisors and school district supervisors, as well as all employees in the division, both teaching and non-teaching personnel. The curriculum can be only established well if the worker or people employing it. As expected, the people working with the curriculum must have the qualifications to ensure that its implementation will not be wasted and will function well. Monitoring the utilization and funds provided by the national government and local government units to the schools and learning centers. The practical use of this curriculum must be relevant and useful. Also, implementing this must involve with money as establishing, including people working, which must be paid off, the facilities, and etc. School must also have the school-based management reported as to how they utilize the funds, what does the funds do with their school, or in what way they use the funds that is given to the school. The school should have the transparent record for the other stakeholders to see and to know. Ensuring compliance quality standards for basic education programs, and this purpose strengthening the role of division supervisor in area specialists. In here, its mission must be achieved and desire of the quality education standards and to firm the role and function of professionals in their special areas. So implementing it will have a great foundation for beneficiaries. Promoting the awareness of all schools and learning centers to accreditation standards prescribed by the Secretary of Education. It is important that it will be specified by the Secretary of Education in order to be certain, and implementing this curriculum will surely develop the education quality. Also, the supervisor have the most important role in handling the implementation, for a fact that it should be organized as well as be monitored. Next, we have the school district level. The school district supervisor is responsible for the following: providing professional and structural advice and support to the school, head and teachers, facilitators of school and learning centered in the district of cluster, thereof, and curricula supervision. And last, we have the school level. Consistent with the national educational policies, plans, and standards, the school level through the leadership of school heads is responsible for the following: setting the mission, vision, goals, and objective of the school, creating an environment within the school that is conducive to teaching and learning, implementing the school curriculum and being accountable for higher learning outcomes, developing and school education programs and school improvement plan, offering educational programs, projects, and services which provides equitable opportunity for all learners in the community.